Hey guys, this one goes out to the anti-corruption unit, Magistrate Pappas, and any corrupt members of the force. Imagine this persisting in Victoria, Australia, while you can't even afford to keep the Hoon Yard open, to keep the good people of Victoria safe. Imagine this, imagine wasting resources just out of sport, just because you're a terrible human being. You came across a new little gadget, AI bot technology, and you already had like M-Spy style, IME style phone hacks at your disposal. So you think because there's no use, this little AI gadget has no legal use. You can't use it as a sworn officer of the law. You can't use it to glean intel and then get a conviction of it. It has no legal use in law enforcement, but you've still come across this AI bot tech that bikies, organised criminals have got, military have got. You've got this at your disposal. Yet, because there's no purpose for it, you choose to just mess with people. And the people you choose, the people you despise the most, are the wannabe gangsters. Not the real gangsters. Not the real gangsters selling drugs everywhere. Not the real drug dealers and organised criminals and whatnot. You choose to just do it to wannabe gangsters and meth heads. Because you're just an out-and-out scumbag. And that leads to the death of innocent people. Literally, you can see Gargasula circling. He's circling there and he's going, come on, he's that riled up. He knows the source of this little head-doing bot, because part of their little sport, like if you FOI, you'll hear Magistrate Pappas, FOI my time on court. Magistrate Pappas refers to it as a sport. So during this little sport, they aggravate you with the head-doing bot. And what they did with me, they'd poke me with that head-doing bot, and then when I'd tell it to go and F themselves, they'd try and now see how bad he is. Like they were breaking law hand over fist to try and turn people against me when I got involved in an IBAC investigation after one of their own, a prison officer. So that's how I found out about it. Plus, I was also at the mercy of the Melbourne Drug Court, and they were using it on the drug court participants. Surprise, surprise. One of those drug court participants ends up lashing out violently also and stabbing an innocent member of the public. But imagine that 7 years. 7 years after one of your scumbag, one of the scumbag segments of the police force have been using it to just mess with people. And that led to babies dying. Literally led to the Burke Street Mall incident. This is a fact. This is not like, maybe ask Magistrate Pappas, FOI the Melbourne Drug Court, ask them all about the misuse of AI. They were using AI bot tech. It was no secret. Meg on the Melbourne Drug Court. Everybody knew. Meg, the mainstream media, Louise, you can ask anybody, Sarah from Legal Aid, they all knew about the weaponised misuse of AI bot tech. And what I can only assume is they didn't know that this sport is what was behind the death of multiple innocent people, including a baby. Now, if you cannot open that up and want to get that out of the Victorian system, there is a lot going on there, mate, because they're innocent people. This is no gangland, no implication of a corrupt police officer killing an informant who knew too much. None of that Paul Dale story, none of that. This is innocent people losing their lives here. including the most vulnerable of the most vulnerable of the most vulnerable, being a baby. And you want to allow that to continue? I mean, come on, mate. It was 7 years. 7 years after that event, it's still continuing. Oh, Nelly. And you want to stalk and harass me for wanting to eradicate that out of Victoria? You're sick.